Hi, this is Zevon here. I'm going to take you through some of my interface settings today, show you some of the mods I use, because I know several people in the guild were interested in my setup here. I've got a pretty custom setup here with a lot of third-party add-ons that I think make the game a lot easier to play. I mean, they certainly don't do things for you, but they make it easier to do what you need to do. Let's see, I guess I'll start at the top. This is Titan Bar up here. It's a bar that lets you put various little counters and monitors on it, so you can see your various stats. It'll just save you from having to look them up, and a lot of them are not actually in the default interface. That's one of the most noticeable things. That's always just nice. There are a lot of little things you can put up there. As you've probably noticed, there are not a whole lot of stock stuff in my interface here. Most of it's customized to some extent. The only two things that are actually stock are the chat window and the minimap. For my action bars, I use Discord action bars, which is a very nice mod that's very customizable. On this Warlock, I have it set up so I have 2 rows of 12 down here. You can see all the buttons if I drag them around, but that's where all my main skills are. Then I have another bar over here on the side that has about 48 spots in it, where I just put my trade skills, various little things I don't use nearly as much. And let's see. This is recap. It shows various stats and ability stats. I know some people don't like it. A lot of people prefer damage meters, but I think recap's better personally, just because it's what I'm used to. That's all. Numbers are always good. For my unit frames, which are like the health bars and that kind of stuff, I use Discord unit frames, which is very, very customizable. This setup here is one that I've designed to that displays my things the way I like them. You may notice I like things very clean and minimal, not a whole lot of extraneous information. And I also like most of my important stuff to be near the center of the screen, so there's less looking around. This whole thing over here is Necrosis, which is a Warlock add-on. Mainly gives you buttons to create things like health stones. It's got a little dial that shows you how many shards you've got. For Warlocks, it's a nice one to have. So, I got my Woodwalker here so that we actually can do a little something. Let's kill one of these mobs over here. As you can see, it has a little pop-up list for your DOTs, which is nice. Mob's dead. Nothing too useful. And you can see how I've got things displayed here. I like it set up like this so that I can have both my action bars and my health bars and your main combat in sight at the same time. I had to look way over here for my health bars and just having to look everywhere for that kind of stuff. So I think that's preferable. Another mod I use called Theorycraft. It's one for the math geeks out here at me master one of my spells. As you can see, it displays a large amount of information, like what benefit you're getting from your plus damage gear, your resist rate. It's another one that's nice to have. Certainly not essential, but it's a nice one to see. So you can see if you got, say, plus 10 damage, what it's actually doing to the spell. And also on the spells themselves, it displays how much damage they'll do on average against a currently targeted mob. Like if I target one of these guards, you can see the numbers go way down because my resist rate is almost 100% on these guys. So that's a handy one. Now, probably the one mod that I found is the single most useful mod that I use is all-in-one inventory. What it does is it takes all your bags and gives you one big window, as you can see here, which saves you a lot of time, especially when you have smaller bags. So as you can see, it saves you from having to open all the different windows to not remember where you put stuff. That's a nice one to have. And this next little mod I want to show you is useful. It's called Auto Profit. See this little button here? Up here in the top right hand corner, it adds this. And when you click that, what it does is it automatically sells everything in your inventory that's render trash. Basically, anything that's any gray items that don't have any crafting use. Mainly just like little bits that drop off animals. It just saves you having to go through and manually sell each one of them. So that's a nice one to have. I'm trying to think about what other ones I've got here that would be useful. There's Accountants, sort of a neat one. What it does, it just sort of tracks for you your various sort of spendings and income. I mean, it does what the name says. It just sort of shows you, and you can go through like over time and see like where you're making money, where you're losing, where you're spending it on, so you can kind of see where all your hard-earned gold is going. So that's sort of a nice one to have. And I think that about covers most of what I've got. Oh, this up here, this is Monkey Quest. It's an alternative quest tracker that I like more than the default Blizzard quest. As you can see, it sort of displays things a bit better. I think just lets you track more at once, and it's just a bit cleaner and customizable. And that's the biggest thing. All the stuff is really customizable. See, but the way I've got it is the way I like it. I've developed this setup, playing WoW off and on for about 2 years now. So I'm sure you probably have different preferences, but this is the way I kind of like things to be laid out, which is kind of different than the way the default interface is. Well, but that's sort of the tour of my interface. If anyone has any questions, just ask me in guild chat or whatever. Hope you enjoyed this.